Bringing you competition between the finest bowlers in the world. It's the Professional Bowlers Tour. For the start of our first, it'll be between Buzz Fazio, whom you're looking at right now, and the younger Bud Horn, who is 30 years old. As I mentioned, Buzz Fazio is 59, will be 60 in 3 days. Bud Horn here leading off. He's 6', 190-pounder from Los Angeles, California. Been averaging 220 on these 2 lanes.
First shot, Bud. You can see he hooked it quite a bit, and that's not the most desirable strike line here. It's been a pretty tight line to the pocket that has worked the best, and that's the reason that 10 didn't carry. The ball came in a little late behind the head pin.
Bud Horn has one official win, the Dallas Open in 1966. And he has the spare.
Bud, I can really tell you about his win at Dallas in '66 because he beat me out. He shot 4 250s the last 4 games, and I've never seen anybody come on that strong in the clutch.
And here's the grandfather. Buzz Fazio has 8 grandchildren. The oldest is 16. Buzz is 5'6", 145 pounds. He's been campaigning for years. He's won the old 1951, the ABC team in all events. Won 55. He won the Masters. 2-time doubles champion, All-American 5 times. And inducted in the Bowling Hall of Fame in 1963. A wonderful veteran of this great sport, Buzz Fazio. And Buzz, I might mention, is a very fine amateur golfer. In fact, he won the Firestone Country Club Championship in 1945. That's another big championship we have coming up here, the Firestone Open, April 6th.
And there's that straight line to the pocket, Bud. The ball just stays right at the pocket. Not too much hook. Sets in there firmly.
Bud Horn now. Second frame, working on a spare. Ooh.
In my introduction of Bud Horn, I spoke about one of the great new breed players, and he certainly is. He came just in the era transferring from the power ball to the new softer shot, and he has made the change, and this is a great credit to Bud's talent and ability.
He trails by 1 pin now. Third frame for Bud Horn. Perfect strike. Buzz's wife, Bobby, is watching from Akron, Ohio. Buzz is now from Detroit, Michigan, or Delton, Michigan, just outside Detroit to be exact. Amazing athlete, and he leads by 11.
Buzz and Bobby took all their coins and they bought a big farm out there. And can you imagine this man on a tractor with a big hat on?
Yep, I can imagine him anywhere. He's
baling that hay, baling that money today. Very much the same stroke as on the right-hand lane where he struck, but he had just a little more speed that time, and the ball didn't go into its roll in time to hook.
That's what he's left with. And for the first time, the average age of our finalists is 38, closer to 30 than 40. Buzz here, the oldest, naturally at 59, 60 in 3 days. And he remains about 8 pins out ahead, and the action will continue live and in color on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Bud Horn gets the spare.
Bud, two things on that last shot of Bud Horn's. First of all, he didn't get quite as much lift as he wanted. And then on the right-hand lane, there is a little spot where you have to be outside of it or you have to hook around it. Again, we have those long red boards. And I want to tell our viewing audience, a long red board is a grainy board, and the ball will not grip as readily as it will on a softer one.
Buzz Fazio, fifth frame, leading by 8. There's your split screen to get a reaction of Buzz to that ball. He's one of the great reactors. Gets down on his knees, slides across on a good ball. Usually when Buzz gets down on his knees, it's a pretty good ball he's found.
Yes, it is. But he's a very excitable, outgoing, freewheeling individual, and when the adrenaline starts to flow, he'll be all over.
Well, he still leads by 7, going into the 6th.
I just can't say enough great things about Buzz Fazio. I had the good fortune of playing with him on the National Match Game Championship team for about 3 or 4 years, and he's just a great leader. He got more out of me as a team captain or a leader than any other player I ever bowled for.
Let's see his reaction here again to this one. Yeah, he liked that.
And there you see how a professional bowler adjusts. He was a little too direct and hit the nose. He went around a little bit and the ball didn't come back. That time he split the difference and he was perfect.
And Bud Horn goes ahead by 3 now. And that helps out Bud Horn.
Increases his lead to 13.
Well, the pressure now on the grandfather in the 7th here. He's won recently. He won in 64 at Princeton, New Jersey, and also 65 at Sacramento, California. He's in the money at San Jose this year. Didn't like that 7 standing.
I think the key this afternoon to all of the matches is who is going to hit lane 20 the best. 19, everyone finishes the ball very strongly into the pocket on 19. On the right-hand lane, the boys have to go a little more direct. It doesn't swing the ball back for them quite as much.
Well, speed's a very important factor this afternoon, isn't it?
The most important factor here today is speed control. Very, very intense, concentrates very deeply.
He needed that one. And we'll be back with the balance of the first match of the Cougar Open Championship in just a minute. And don't forget, tomorrow on ABC Live and in Color, NBA basketball, the Knicks versus the Boston Celtics at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by the American Sportsman at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at 5 p.m., ABC will present a 90-minute preview of the Winter Olympics. That's tomorrow on ABC. And here we go again, Bud Horn stepping up, leading by 13 in the 8th. And this is a lane they don't like as much as the other one. The right lane here seems to be causing the problem this afternoon. Not that time. And Buzz looks up there, seeing where he stands, and he trails by 23 right now, but he's not out of it.
But that lane surface is the whole story. Now, you see, Buzz is going a little more direct, and he can't quite get around that spot. Bud Horn turns it and hooks it a little bit more, so he's going direct on 19, and he's going around with his hook on lane 20.
He's pretty happy with that, wasn't he? Because when he released it, he looked as if, oh my golly, I might get a split out of this.
You spoke earlier about speed control. He's using a little more speed on the left-hand lane. And in using more speed, he got to the line a little bit faster, and he was there ahead of that ball. You saw him rear up. Well, when you rear up and still keep the ball in the pocket, you're very happy, even if it doesn't strike.
Gets a spare, he still leads by 22. And now up steps Buzz in the ninth. He needs a couple of strikes here, doesn't he, Billy?
Well, he really needs this one because he gets a chance to finish on the left-hand lane, and he's hit it almost every time. A strike here is a must for Buzz Fazio. Gave it a little more roll, Bud. He had a much stronger finishing ball that time. He knew he needed that one. He put on a great attack at the pocket, but for a little break.
And he still trails by 22 going to the 10th run. That is, if he makes this one, which he rarely misses.
Buzz, as he shoots the 10th frame, he has a possible score of 216. This would force Bud Horn to mark.
That was a tough break.
Yes, it was a very good ball. When the ball goes through there and gets the 5, it was rolling.
And it looks like the grandfather might be closed out. I think Bud Horn might be the winner.
He'd look awful good in that Cougar, too. His best possible score now is 205.
Oh, it's amazing a man at 60 is supple with the drive that Buzz Fazio has here.
Now, it's still mathematically possible. We always speak of a bowler staying behind the foul line. If Buzz gets a 205 game, 204, 203, 9 for 204, Bud. Now, Bud.
By the way, there's Hank Bauer checking the score, who's Overland Park's one of the most successful citizens, manager of the Baltimore Orioles. And that makes Bud Horn the winner here of the first match. I guess the sentimental favorite was a rather dejected gentleman in the back there with the yellow shirt and the green pants, Buzz Fazio. Everybody pulling for Buzz here. Who wouldn't be it? Coming up to 60 and still in a top competitive sport like bowling.
One of the all-time greats in the bowling game was a gentleman out of North Carolina named Eber Darnell Sarge Easter. Was 77 when he passed away, and he still carried a 200 average. I kid Buzz quite often that he's going to pass the Sarge.
Here's Bud Horn, our winner. The next match will go up against Les Schischler. Lots of time to get it. And he finishes with 225 against 204 for Buzz Fazio. So Bud Horn is our winner here. And a great round of applause here for Buzz Fazio. And Bud Horn moves a step closer to the first prize of $10,000 as he faces Les Schischler from Denver, Colorado. And we'll see the start of that action in just a moment.